Hello everyone and welcome to Cognigy's Q4 Tech Update. Thank you for joining us today even with the holiday season just around the corner. I hope this session helps us close the year on a high note. We have some amazing updates in store for you and also an exciting preview of what's coming next. With that said, let's get to it. As always, a few housekeeping items before we get the ball rolling. You are in listen-only mode throughout the whole webinar, but if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them using the Q&A panel. While we may not be able to answer all questions live today, we will ensure to follow up with you afterward. A recording link will also be sent to your email and made available on our website and Help Center. So what better way to start our tech update than a look back at our Agentic AI launch? This is one of our most, if not our most transformative product yet, and it's truly amazing to see the intuitive customer experiences Agentic AI enables with our empowered reasoning. Plus, how easy it is to build and onboard an AI agent is just so much fun. The best part, all of this is compatible with every other Cognigy AI features that you have been familiar with, whether it's knowledge AI, LLM orchestration, or extensions. It can also be combined with traditional intent-based structural automation workflows. Many of you may have already watched our launch webinar and tested Agentic AI. If not, don't worry, we will recap the key features later by diving into the newer enhancements we have recently introduced. Even though we have been hard at work on Agentic AI, we haven't overlooked the rest of our platform. Over the past 6 releases, we have introduced over 60 other platform updates, including 10 new features and more than 50 product improvements across the board. Today, we're excited to walk you through our top highlights. As we have already talked about Agentic AI, our biggest launch of the year, let's start with that. You might have seen that since last week, Agentic AI has been released in open beta, marking its public availability. So now Merlin, our product owner, will take us through our agentic features, especially the newer ones we have rolled out since our launch. Over to you, Merlin.
Thank you, Nu, for the introduction. I'm Merlin, one of the product owners of Cognigy.AI, and I want to show you some recent improvements we did in the last quarter. As we all know, we had a big webinar on Agentic AI a few weeks ago already, where Thijs and Sebastian presented most of the features of Agentic AI. So I will just cover the major updates we did in the meantime, so please make sure to check out the webinar. As a first topic, I want to show you the improvements we did in the project creation wizard. You know that I can choose a project name here, and then the next step will be to select a project type. I can choose how to start with my project. We all know the intent-driven AI approach, where I can use NLU and intents to build a logic flow and react on what the customer wants using intents. So when I click next here, you probably know this interface. I can select solution accelerators and more. I will go back now because I want to focus on Agentic AI here. Before I head into this, we also have a third option of creating an empty project where I can just create an empty shell where I can do whatever I want. What I want to emphasize here is that no matter how you start, you can still use best of both worlds, so to say. So you can still use all of the functionalities Cognigy AI offers. This is just about how you want to start into your project. So I will choose Agentic AI here and click next. And what happens now is that we create a project and jump directly into the creation wizard. Yeah. So when I go to our build section here, we are in our AI agent resource, which is still in beta. So I will just start creating an agent here. And as I already said, Thijs did this in a very detailed manner and already created an agent with you in a webinar. So I will just paste the description here of a friendly and informal restaurant owner. I will click next, choose a speaking style here. I want him to speak concise and informal. Skip over the knowledge and instructions parts, skip over the data privacy and security part. And as a next step, I will land into the job selection, which is the second new feature that I want to show you. This fifth step is meant to combine the agent you crafted with a pre-configured job. you have different options you can choose from. So the first one is the personality only, where you can basically just create the AI agent without any flow attacked or with any job attacked. So you can just hit create and you will be redirected to the AI agent overview. Second option would be the default option, where we create a flow for you, a standard flow, where the agent is attacked and you can directly chat to it. And then we have other options, which are basically pre-configured jobs, but you first need to configure an LLM for that. Because I will cover that in a minute in the job market, I will just leave it for now and use the default option here. We have create a chat, so I will click it and we will create a flow, tag the agent Max into it, and you will have one tool of unlocking an account, where the AI agent Max we just crafted is directly attacked. Here's one tool, which is unlock account, and a placeholder node here, where the action is usually handled using an HTTP request or whatever to unlock this account. So to chat with him, we usually need to configure an LLM. Because I don't want to bore you, I have prepared something for that. So we will just switch the projects into Tech Update Q4, and I will show you what I've prepared. So the first thing is we also have Max here. I just created him. And we also have LLMs configured already. And these are in place in our settings. So we need to have a model configured for the AI agent node, which is for Mini. And in the knowledge settings, I have configured text embedding ADA. So now when we go back into our agent overview, we would have the option to hire an AI agent. This was already shown in the webinar, but we have some recent updates to it, so I show it again. We have 4 agents here, basically airline support, BDR assistance, restaurant guide, and for German customers, also a restaurant guide that will only answer in German. So when I hover over one of these agents here, we can see that the hire button appears. So I can hire these agents, the BDR assistant agents, which offers assistance in business development tasks, such as answering questions, scheduling callbacks, and other. So I will click hire here. We will set up the laptop for the agent, sign some contracts, so everything is ready for his onboarding or her onboarding. And you will see a success banner in a second that the agent is hired successfully. Open the flow to start using the AI agent. So when I head back to flows right now, I can see a new flow appearing, indicated by the red dot here. I can go in there and I will see Anna as a new agent joined my company, together with some tools and more, like her knowledge, for example, which we can find in the resource. She brought a brochure and some FAQs. And moreover, she, of course, brought the AI agent character, which we can now edit. For example, can go in here and edit all the information that is hired with her. So this was the hire AI agent function, which was already shown in the webinar. You can basically hire an agent, attack with flows and knowledge. We do offer one more option, which is hire and configure. I'm going to show this on the restaurant guide here. We have the hire and configure button, which opens another menu. Select an AI agent to combine. So when I spend a lot of time on Max, for example, crafting the personality, the speaking style, what he shouldn't do, what he should do, I want to use that agent in combination with the functionality of the jobs we provide on the job market. So that's what this option is for. So I basically put Max into the flow which I hire. So let's do this. I will just click combine. This is a complex task, of course. We need to sign some more contracts. This will take a bit more. And then we get the success banner again, open the flow to start using the agent. I will head over to flows right now to see the new flows that are imported into the project. So we have 3 new flows here, all related to restaurant: dining concierge, order expert, and reservation expert. And when I go to the main flow, we can see that Max is now the AI agent. The AI agent I just crafted a minute ago is now a restaurant expert who can view the locations of all the restaurants, reserve a table, and place some orders. I can also start chatting with him. he will answer by offering me some actions like ordering now, book a table, or view locations. So this is what we see when we hire and configure. And what we don't see is that we have another agent here, because we combined the personality I just crafted with the functionality from the job market. So the hire and configure feature is a really cool addition to our product, because you can basically hire functionality, including flows and knowledge, but combine it with the personality from your AI agent that you crafted. And that's it for the job market for now. For the next two features, I want to switch to the flows and into the change contact number. And I want to reset the session here. So as you can see now, we have a very basic flow here. So the use case is for unlocking a bank account or changing the number of the customer. So starting at the very top here, we have a code node, which is on the first time of execution of the flow, is setting the account of the user to locked. That's very important because the agent needs to work with that information. So then the agent has two tools, unlock account and change number. And we can have a look into the tool's settings. In the advanced section, we introduce another field, which is called condition. So what we basically do here is to evaluate this condition. And if that is true, so if context.account equals unlocked and the condition is true, the agent is allowed to use that tool. That's very important for some use cases, because for some use cases like working with banks and verifying accounts, you would want to make absolutely sure that the agent can use this tool only if some certain conditions are met. So for unlock account, we also introduced a condition here. I put context.account is locked, because you can only unlock the account if the account is locked, obviously. So before we start chatting with our agent in that use case, I want to show you one more option, because I want to combine the demo with another feature we introduced, and this is image handling. So when you turn on the process images toggle here, the LLM will be capable of processing images in the conversation and react to that in the conversation. So very important to turn this toggle on here. You also want to have your image provider configured for that, so that you can store images, for example, when you're using web chat. You have one more option here, which is images and transcript, where you can choose from minify, drop, or keep the image in the transcript. So minify is basically reducing the size of the image to reduce token usage. Drop is dropping it completely, forgetting about it. And keep is keeping it the same size, so this will increase the token usage. Okay, having said that, I just want to switch the browser here, because I have prepared my web chat. I will click on live follow, where I've pasted the user ID from the web chat right here, and I will then start to follow the conversation and start the conversation in the web chat. I will initiate the discussion with a simple hey, how it's going. I want to change my number. And before I send that, we can have a look at our flow here. We executed the code node. The AI agent knows that the account is locked. And he's going the default path here to just have the conversation. And I now say I want to change my number. Could you let me know the number you want to use? And I will say +49 something something. And then he's encountering an issue, which is your account is locked, because we set the condition in the tool here, right? To unlock it, I will need a few details from you. I pasted that detail in the AI agent description. Could you please provide me your email, date of birth, and your IBAN? And because I'm a bit lazy of remembering my IBAN, I can just paste that image here and say, sure. And as you can see in the preview of WebChat v3, we can see now the email, date of birth, and my IBAN. And what happened now is the AI agent tested the image completely, understood what is the information, and then proceeded with the path of unlocking an account. The condition here was that the account is locked and he has the information provided here. So then he unlocked the account and then came back to my number I pasted up here and changed my number in just a second. And then he also verified the information with me once again, that I can be sure that everything worked. And he asked me, anything else you need help with? I say, no, thank you. And if we wait a second, you're welcome. If you need anything else later, just let me know. So very impressive. We can actually paste images in WebChat v3 and let the AI agent process this if we make sure that the image handling is activated here. Also, he couldn't access this tool unless the account was unlocked. So if you want to really make sure that the tools are only then accessed when certain conditions are met, it's Cognigy script, so really flexible to use. And yeah, having said that, that's it for my part. Really cool, really impressive features we released in the last quarter. So have fun exploring, and thank you for listening in. Back to you, Nu.
Thank you so much, Malin, for the fantastic updates. If you are as excited as I am and want to explore all these features right away, I have more good news for you. In parallel with the open beta release, we have also published a host of enablement materials for Agentic AI. These include how-to guides to help you get started quickly, in-depth end-to-end product documentation, and most excitingly, a brand new Academy certification course for your next learning goal. We highly encourage you to check out these resources as they are specifically designed to help you get the most out of Agentic AI fast. Coming up next, Anastasia, our product owner for Cognigy Insights, will give you an update on the new Goals dashboard. She will explain how it helps you quantify and monitor AI impact along with its availability timeline.
Thank you very much, Nu. Let me keep up the pace. Hello, my name is Anastasia. I'm a product owner of Cognigy.AI and Insights. Let me continue with a new version of a feature that many of you are likely to be familiar with, goals. Regardless if you have already incorporated goals into your flow or it's a brand new topic for you, I'm sure that by the end of this session, you will be looking forward to seeing it in your flow. As you may know, the previous version of goals focuses on tracking the user's actions and achievement along the flow. The new version offers enhanced goals definition, multiple step-by-step tracking, as well as the option to tie your goals to the business metrics. Now, telling it without showing will probably leave you with many questions. That's why let's step-by-step outline what is worth to remember, where to start the setup, which nodes to use, and finally, when can you get goals. Before we deep dive into the new version of goals, I would like to emphasize that the previous version of goals is still available in Cognigy.AI and Insights. However, to avoid any confusion, we have decided to rename it to tasks. Therefore, now to your flow and you are typing in goal, you will see two different nodes, track goal and complete task. The complete task is the new version of goals and it remains completely unchanged apart from the name. You might also see the change in the overview, engagement, and Transcript Explorer, where the bars are shown not as a top goals, but top tasks. Other than that, you don't need to worry about making any changes to your existing flows. Coming back to the new version of goals, let's check how to get started. You may now find a new tab in the Cognigy.AI menu, Goals. Within this tab, you can define your new goal. Definition of new goals is pretty straightforward and easy. However, we strongly recommend to reflect before you set up a new goals so that they can be really precisely related to the achievements that you are going to track while working with the AI agents. It is important to start with the definition of the name of the goal, optional adding description. Then it is important to remember that we must provide two steps, initial step and completion step. In order to make it a little bit more simple for you, I have pre-populated goals in which I'm trying to book the ticket via the AI agent. As you could see in the initial step, I decided that the customer needs to book via AI agents. In order to finish to the completion step, which will be the booking confirmation, my customer needs to go quite some steps. So the customer needs to provide the destination and time, needs to specify the cabin class and number of passengers, as well as the age of these passengers. They need to select the tickets, provide the passenger details, travel documents, contact data, and of course complete the payment. Once all those steps are achieved, I can define that the goal was completed. In this particular case, I have decided to tie my metrics only to the last completion step because it is easier for me as an enterprise to measure of how much I'm able to save in terms of costs, time, and even in additional revenue earnings after the final step is completed and the booking is confirmed. In this particular case, I know that I'm able to save $20, 10 minutes, and on average 250 euros of earnings if I'm handing over this particular task to the AI agent. So, how does it look on the flow? You can see that I have added my steps to every single part of the process. In this particular, I can define the goal, which I would like to track in this flow part, and also select which steps are going to be tracked when the user is a part of the flow. In addition to this, in the settings, you may label your node so that it's more recognizable. What are you tracking in this particular case? And in addition, add it to the analytical step, which basically means that this part will be visible in the Transcript Explorer. Therefore, the setup of your goals is not just a technical exercise. It's also a deep dive into how you would like to measure your success. You don't need to define metrics for every single step. Nevertheless, we recommend to reflect on most efficient way to incorporate the metrics proportionally to showcase not only the user journey, but also generate data that could firmly confirm the value of the AI bots to your business. And as we decided to capture all the information in one particular place, it is very important for you to know that we have also decided to create a separate tab for goals. On this tab, you can filter for the time span, under which you can define which period you are looking at. You can also filter for the snapshot at point. In more filters, you could also go a little bit more granular and define what particular goal you would like to see in detail. In addition to this, it is very important to keep track on these metrics, such as completed and partially completed. The higher the completed is, the more successful your flow is. This metric can also signify that some parts of your flow require a little bit more deep reflection and the insights, if maybe you would like to change how the flow works, or maybe some of the parts of the flow are never visited by the users. In addition to this, we are also providing the average time, the general time saved and the cost savings every time the user is achieving a particular part of the flow. In addition to this, you could also see the bars, which basically show how with time you are able to generate a better cost savings or save more time or more revenue earnings with each particular goal separately. So, as a result, instead of measuring if with the AI agent the customer was able to book a ticket or not, we may now track each step along the flow, within which we are also enabling to identify when the customer dropped out. Thus, you are now more equipped with the analytical evidence that signifies where your flow should be improved in order to bring more success to your AI agent. To conclude, by applying the new version of goals within the flow, you may significantly benefit from more enhanced analytical data tied to the business metrics, which once used is also separately grouped under a separate tab of goals. What is important to remember to get started is that you must be migrated to the pre-aggregation framework, where majority of our customers will be moved in the first weeks of Q1 2025. There is nothing pending on your side. That's something that Cognigy needs to manage internally. In addition to this, goals are only available if you are updated to the release 4.87 and above. Last but not least, once your goals are already activated for you, you may also access them via OData. If you seek for more information, I highly encourage you to go to the Cognigy docs or feel free to contact us. I'm looking forward to seeing how you will benefit from this feature. Now, time to hand over to New. Thank you.
Thank you, Anastasia. Now that we have covered how to create AI agents and measure their impact, let's dive into how you can ensure their seamless operations. And for that, Sergey, Cognigy's product owner for Generative AI, will demonstrate another top Q4 highlight, the new LLM Fallback. This feature is designed to optimize the uptime and reliability of your AI workforce. Additionally, Sergey will showcase the updated Admin Center interface, which lays the foundation for many amazing agent management capabilities coming in 2025. Sergey, over to you.
Hello and welcome, Sergey is here. Thanks for introduction, you. Today I'm very excited to present a couple of new features we were working on. First of all, that's going to be LLM fallbacks, and the second one is the change of navigation in Admin Center. That's not a big deal, but it'll highlight a little bit next upcoming features we will work on in Q1. Without further ado, let's proceed to the LLM fallbacks. Now, let's imagine you have a configuration of LLM and for some reason it doesn't work, but your flow is highly relying on this connection because it consists of a couple of prompt nodes, or it could be the new Agentic AI, which Mervyn were presented. So let's imagine this situation. And now we have the feature to deal with it, and let's go to how to the settings and see how we can actually set it up. So you're going to go to LLM editor and check your LLM, and now you have a new fallback section here. You should enable it and then choose the fallback model. Please keep in mind that you have to have two different models. It could be from different providers, it could be at the moment only chat or completion models. And once you set it up here, then you need to define how many failed requests you would like to have. Let's say one is enough in our case. And then the next settings is to define the duration in minutes of active fallback. So now you have to define it. How long will this fallback model gonna work? Let's say we are very safe situation and we want to have it 30 minutes. So once our fallback model will be triggered, it'll last for 30 minutes till it switch back to the original one. The idea of that is to be able actually not just substitute the original primary model, but also notify you about that. And that's why you can also specify 1, 2, or 5 different email addresses in this field to notify your team about fallback model. Let's save it at the moment, and then let's go to our flow editor. So here I have only one node, so very relying on LLM prompt. And let's check the GPT-3, and let's save the node and say hi. How can I assist you today? All right, but let's imagine something happened with the connection. So let's update, just out of curiosity, our connection and see how our model gonna react on that. We still have the correct answer, even though we have here ChatGPT 3.5. Let's check our logs. You can see here error, fallback for LLM with reference, so OpenAI 3.5 Turbo was triggered. This means that something is wrong, right? So we need to figure out with the team what is going on. And this feature essentially helping you to do so. At the moment, I have email notification saying exactly the same. And now I can fix the problem, go to the connection and fix the problem. So in 30 minutes, it'll change back to the original. If the error still persists, then we're gonna have another loop of fallback to the fallback model. In our case, that's gonna be Amazon Bedrock. So that's essentially it. That's the feature which will help you to cover situations when the original model doesn't work for some reason and you can fix it, or just save your connection and then send your users, your chat, your bots to the another connection, basically the substitute LLM. And another small change I want to show today is the change of navigation in the admin center. You maybe already noticed that we don't have anymore the icon with your name on it, and that's because we move it to the menu. So once clicked, you can see a new set of items we are listing on this menu, and one of them is admin center. Once you click, you can see that menu color has changed to the dark one. That's why, because we want to show you that you are located in some different area. Here you can see exactly the same items. You already have audit events, access control, and also dashboard, nothing new. But very soon we're gonna add something new here, which called global resources. So this new section gonna let you set up the resources on organization-wide level. This means that you no longer have to set up in each project the connection to LLM. You can set it up once for organization and then share the access to those resources across all your projects. Please note that these settings will be accessible only for admins of the project. And that's it for today. With this in mind, I just would like to thank you and hand over back to you. Thanks and keep watching.
Awesome. Thank you, Sergey. Last but absolutely not least, Dennis, our product owner, will walk you through the latest updates in Cognigy Live Agent. Dennis, take it away.
Thank you very much, Nu, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Dennis, the product owner for the Live Agent. Today, I'm so excited to introduce the newest updates on the Live Agent for this quarter. I have so many exciting news today, so let's quickly start with the first one. Let's start with the first feature for this tech update, option to display the user disconnected or left the chat message. So when a customer disconnects or leaves the chat, we send an informative status message to the agent, and with the new toggle option at the handover to agent node, you can now enable or disable sending this message to the agent. Let's check the handover to agent node. So let's check it for the live agent settings first. When I scroll down in my live agent settings, I see these two toggle options. One is enabling user connects message and enable user disconnects message, and you can switch it on or off based on your use case. And let's check it for the enabled case at first. So I'm enabling these in my flow node, and I'm starting my conversation with the bot. Hello, welcome to Cognigy. How can I help you today? Let's say I want to speak with a live agent. Sure, I will now forward you to a human agent. One moment, please. Let's say, okay, I'm waiting. And let's check it for the live agent case. So the conversation is handed over to the live agent, and the live agent actually sees this conversation. And for the live agent, let's write, hello, I am the live agent, and send the message. And since we want to test the user disconnected and connect message, let's ask a question so that the user should change the tab. Can you share your office address quickly? And the user says, sure, but I first have to check. So, okay. So let's quickly change the tab and just disconnect from the chat. Cognigy Office. Okay, now I just disconnected from the chat to check the address, and let's see how it seems like in the live agent page. As you can see, the live agent received this message, user left the conversation, and let's return back. Let's go to the previous conversation, and let's check since we're still at the conversation. The live agent received the user joined the conversation message in the live chat live agent screen. I am back. And office address is, let's say, the office in Düsseldorf. And after that, the conversation just continues as the way it is. And thanks, and there's no disruption. Okay, so let's check it for the other case when we just disable these toggles. How will the live agent screen look like? Let's go to live agent settings and just disable, save the note, and let's start with a new conversation. Let's again say hello. Welcome to Cognigy, how can I help you? I want to speak with a live agent. Sure, I'm gonna forward you to unknown, please. Okay. And let's check it from the live agent perspective. Okay, as you can see, let's do it like this. Okay, hello, I am the live agent. Let's say, can you share your office address? Sure, let me check. Okay, let's again change the tab and let's just disconnect Cognigy Office. So as you can see, I just disconnected from the conversation, but the agent didn't receive any message. So let's return back to the conversation. Again, the agent didn't receive any message, and let's check it. I'm back. And the conversation just goes on as the way it is. And we have also implemented this toggle for Genesis. As you can see in Genesis settings, you can again enable or disable this. And also for the Ring Central Engage, again, you have this toggle option. And with this optionality, we actually aim the smoother user experience to the agents with the reduced number of notifications during the session, because the customers can have quite long waiting times when they're waiting for a human agent to connect. And especially if it's through a mobile phone, it's quite easy to be distracted with the notifications from other applications, or the users can switch in between apps when they're waiting, or maybe they can accidentally lock their screens. You know, a lot of these cases are possible, and in such cases, receiving this disconnected and connected message all the time can be confusing or too noisy for the agents. That's why it's important to make this status message optional. And there's also one thing worth to mention. For our users in a dedicated environment, we have a controllable grace period. So these users have the option to define this duration based on their desire, and they can actually decide to not to send the status message up to a certain time frame. So again, for the case of the mobile customers, for example, considering switch between the apps or checking something else while waiting, this can be tolerated up to a certain time frame based on the defined duration based on your use case. And if you also want to implement this feature, you can check our documentation to guide yourself on how to set everything up. And let's continue with the second feature that I want to present you today in this tech update, improved xApps user input display. So we have a very powerful tool in Cognigy.AI, xApps, which allows you to create flexible micro-web applications for customer self-service, where your customers can enter various input and the agents can check these entries during the conversation to handle the requests of your customers in a more seamless way. And it's important for us to support the different input data types and also allow displaying these entries in a user-friendly way to the agents. And let's check how we improve the display of the xApps user input to the agents. So I have a xApps built for a reservation use case. Let's check it together for the live agent. Let's start the conversation. Hello, welcome to Cognigy Spa Booking Bot. Can you please enter your personal information? Let's say, of course, until the xApps interface. Please provide customer status. Select customer status. New customer. Full name. That's right. And for email, and let's select one of the support options. I want to take information. Thank you, Dennis. I received your request. I will now forward you to a human agent. Please stay on the chat. Okay, I am waiting. So as you can see, I entered the xApps inputs, and when a user enters a JSON as an input in the xApps, the live agent actually receives these previously entered data in a well-organized and nicely structured format so that the agent can use this input when handling the requests in an easy way. And let's check the live agent to see how the agent actually sees the xApps inputs. Let's check. Okay, here is the conversation and Cognigy Spa Booking. And as a user, as you can remember, we entered the xApps input as the status of the person is the new customer, so the status was new. And we also entered the full name, then jargon and date of birth and the email. And also we select the option that we want to get information. And since we actually displayed this xApps input in a well-organized and well-structured way, the agent can actually use this input quite easily, and this would actually help the agent also assisting the customer during the conversation. And also, I showed you the live agent case, but when the request also comes from Genesis, the JSON entries are also handled and displayed to the agents in the same way in a nicely structured format for a better user experience.
Thank you, Dennis. So that's a wrap for our Q4 tech update. We hope you enjoyed the insights and demos from our fantastic product owners. It has been a wonderful year, and we truly appreciate everyone who has supported us on this journey. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you in 2025.